When we think of a remake, we think of Resident Evil 1 or Final Fantasy VII. We think of games that have been remade after the game has already been out for years, if not decades. What happens when a game gets remade, not remastered, after only 9 years from when it was first released? Is it in need of being remade? Is it too clunky, not sturdy, or did it simply just not age well? Since The Last of Us got a remaster just a year after its initial release in 2013, many would argue that this game is in sturdy enough of a condition and did not need to be remade, and then being priced at a whopping $69 USD. What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to today's reviews, where today we're going to dive into The Last of Us Part 1 Remake. So this is a remake, right? First off, whenever I was first getting into even hearing about this game being remade, I was like, wait, this is a remaster, right? No. It was a full-on remake. I got that confused, just so we're on the same page going in here. After playing this game for the first time last year and now playing the remake, I was caught feeling biased and happy because, well, I love both Last of Us games, but also trying to remain objectively pessimistic because why does a 9-year-old game need a remake that badly? Is it because the HBO show is coming out? Is it because Naughty Dog wanted to make all their games move over to the PS5 hardware? Maybe they truly believed that the game was in desperate need of repair, or maybe it was all of the above, which is completely possible. When The Last of Us Part 1 Remake was announced, you kind of felt this pause to an extent in the gaming community of where there were people who thought, oh my god, this game is being remade way too soon, why is this even a thing? Or you had gamers who thought, oh my god, it's gonna be like $70 for a remake? No way in hell. Or you had different gamers who genuinely thought it was too soon but were willing to give it a chance. I was thinking that it was both too soon, but also, could this actually work? Like, maybe this will work. Maybe this has a shot of being something that's really cool, because when you see a remake, it's not just about remaking something the way Resident Evil 1 was remade, or even the way Final Fantasy VII was remade. I thought, could this work out? And spoiler, it did work out. In the end, after playing Last of Us Part 1, it really honestly more solidified how they changed so much. The accessibility, the photo mode got a complete overhaul, the textures, the remaking of certain areas. Yes, it was the same area, but it was remade so tremendously that it almost felt like a new game entirely. With Naughty Dog's unique take on zombies as a whole and immersive gameplay, we saw this shift in storytelling, characters, and game dynamics, bringing The Last of Us to a unique place in gaming history, one where its mark was so severely positive and groundbreaking that bringing reality and the pain that comes with it to a game is almost a necessity now for how games are built. If it's not to make the player feel something, then what's the point? If I'm not questioning my life and the lives of those around me, if I'm not fighting for something, and be it positive or negative, since this game heavily places an emphasis on both scenarios, then I ask again, what's the point? To play devil's advocate here, we can go into all day how games shouldn't be an immersive thing, that they shouldn't be something of where it is too real, because then it takes the enjoyment away out of it to a certain degree. I've seen this argument being placed on Twitter and online on, the certain Reddit forums and everything like that, of where people think that, since gaming is a form of escapism, why are we making it real? If life in turn is a thing that gamers are trying to get away from, why are we then making it more immersive and more real? The Last of Us Part 2 is a prime example of making something a little bit too real. By all means, there should be a balance between having a game that makes you relaxed versus an emotionally draining game like The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. There should be that balance between extraordinarily violent video games and those games that you just want to curl up with on the Switch right before you go to sleep because it's that time for you to decompress. There should also be that balance between really amazing horror games and really amazing farming games that let you just decompress entirely from the world around you, but you should also have the games that make your heart pump so fast. There's so many different games for so many different palettes, and I feel like that's one of the most beautiful things about the gaming industry, is that there's always going to be a game for everyone. The Last of Us bridges that gap between horrific and action, and it nestles itself right in between those two worlds, really creating something magnificent. With how much the accessibility changed and how much was added, this game in some ways is and will feel like a brand new experience for some people. The way in which the gamers were and are the first priority when recreating this game's accessibility is a wonderful thing. The sound design is something also that I was fully blown away by. The binaural, immersive nature that cloaks this game is something I was truly in awe of. The clickers, they managed to sound scarier than ever before, if you can believe that. Even looking at the characters, I was floored at how different they looked. They just looked absolutely magnificent. Tess looked reimagined, same with Joel. Joel actually, more of his character was kept in line for how he would appear in The Last of Us Part 2. And then there were other parts of where they completely redesigned everything from the ground up, making the areas just more immersive and the surroundings that much more beautiful. Some may not see it. Some may choose to ignore the fact that this game is a remake in its entirety, from the textures to the accessibility to the remaking of areas as a whole, like I've stated before. Just from the bottom up, I'm truly amazed at what was able to be accomplished here with The Last of Us Part 1 Remake. You guys, that was it for me for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a fun one to review. I've never before really played a game and then went back to it all over again to see what I could really get out of it in terms of review. Because the fact of the matter is that when you write a review, and I know a lot of my other, reviewer friends could probably relate to this. It's like, what more can I comment on that I didn't already comment on in the previous review? But this was a fun one to go over. I cannot wait to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Let me know if you guys are OG, like, Last of Us fans, if you guys played the original before the remaster even. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below. I make videos every day here on YouTube. May you find your worth in the waking world, dear hunter. Stay casually nerdy, and I will see you all in the next video. See you guys.